Okay, spoiler time. So if you haven't seen the movie, please go and watch the movie, then come back to this video. But for the rest of you, before I want to talk about the actual spoilers. Okay, good. If you are here, because there are some things that I actually forgot to talk about. In the earlier video that I want to just make a quick point here. Is that first of all, BB-8's puppetry is very well animated. I think I said it before, but it just looks so good. Maybe I have to say it again, even if I already mentioned it before. Okay, then the other thing is, it's interesting to see as an Asian from Singapore, right? Actually, it's quite interesting to see a lot of racial diversity also and gender diversity in the roles. It's like I know there are some trolls out there that will probably say like there are some trolls out there will try and make it that sound like we are like racist or something like that, kind of whole type of social justice warrior nonsense that all that from both sides. But I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say that it's interesting to see that they try and splice things up a little bit in terms of racial diversity, which is a good thing. It has to be commended. Even if people who advocate for what feminism and all that nonsense, I mean, you have to acknowledge that it is something done here. I mean, talking about feminism, or rather, it's not really feminism, but the idea that the lead character in this movie is a lady, is a female, it actually is something that is good to see. I mean, if you think about it, even in the original trilogy, it was Princess Leia did play an important role, but by the end she just kind of sidestepped, if you admit it, you know. But in this movie, you can see Rey is doing everything. You know, she's actually appropriate, like, you know, getting all the machinery done and pressing buttons and all that stuff. And I will talk about that. She plays a very important part later. Then the other thing is what else did I missed out? And in the end scene where they were talking and where they were piloting their big battle on the Starkiller base. Yeah, there were many people. There are people of many races in the their pilots were made out of many different races. There are black guys, there are Asians, there are Italians, there are so many people I can't even name it. But it's good to see there's so many diversity and not all just white people. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was interesting to see that diversity down there, and it's even whether you like it or not, or people think it's just done for the gimmick of it. It's something it at least provides something different to see from the original, and it's no harm, you know, being a bit more diverse in the roles, you know, and rather than just been sticking to the so-called the white stereotype white hero, or the black guy always dies in the movie. So it's kind of interesting to see. So, ready for spoilers? Okay. From here on, it's all spoilers. So get out now. Gone. Have you watched all the movie already? Okay. Now my number one thing. Let's talk about Luke. He appears at the very end, and he doesn't get a single line. But you know what? Since the movie is all about finding Luke Skywalker, to see him at the end as just a cameo, I think it's alright. I mean, it's like earlier I thought I said this movie is it's basically a rehash of the original trilogy, a bit of a rehash. But from the one good thing about this movie that isn't a rehash is that when there was Han and Leia, that kind of thing, they kind of also this movie actually, if you think about it, it's also kind of main thing about Han's story and his story arc. And yeah, Han dies at the end, that's the thing. So it's that's a spoiler we'll talk about later. So Han dies at the end. So then Princess Leia, now she's a general. So she actually kind of plays also a secondary role to the main character. The good thing is that this movie isn't just about Han, Luke, and Leia again on their adventures. It's just about these new characters and maybe Han joining them, but Leia playing a more secondary role in it. So it's good to see that they decided not to actually rehash everything, and then Luke being at the end as just, you know, oh, they finally found him, you know, that kind of thing. It's something refreshing to see, and it's something that, yeah, they didn't want to go the cheap route, and I think that's a good thing. So the lights, Okay, let's talk about Han Solo and how he dies in this movie. Okay, I have to admit one thing. That actually before I flew to Sydney, just for this IMAX screening, actually, accidentally read some YouTube comments that already spoiled that Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son and Kylo Ren will kill Han Solo at the end. So it's kind of like that's the only thing like it was spoiled for me, but I'm just trying to think, okay, then I try to read anymore. Maybe how it happens could be interesting. And actually, and to be honest, the how he actually dies, I guess it's alright, but it's also very predictable. I mean, my friend just told me, when Han was walking on that platform and he was going to face him, he also told me you know that he's gonna die already. So yeah, but at least there was that last moment between Kylo and Han that that I don't know whether when Han when Kylo Ren stabs Han when he says I have to do one thing and thank you. I don't know whether he really means it to thank his father or not, but it's kind of interesting. I would think this is one of the more ambiguous thing about the movie, whether is it really was Han just willing to uh let his son stab him like that. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting point. Then let me see. Then Rey being the Force user, so it's actually the only thing I hope. Okay, I think the thing about Rey is that it's good to see that she's like she's established as a Force user, and that at the end she meets up with Luke, and then maybe in episode 8 or 9, then Luke will train her to be a Jedi. But the only thing I hope that won't happen in the next episodes is that Luke is revealed to be Luke is revealed to be Rey's father or that kind of stuff, because it's like it was been done already in the previous movie. We don't need another rehash again. This is the thing. If they copy it, they do it once, fine, it's here. Just to show people that we remember the original trilogy. Then they want to offer something new to the franchise. But if they try to do it again, that they go that route, then I'm a bit concerned already about the franchise. That it keeps that it sort of you people say they want something new. Then when they get something new like the prequels, people also hate it. So it's like there are some people, I don't know, there's some Star Wars fans in this world that forever will never be satisfied. Like they want things safe. When people keep safe, they say, oh, you play safe, you make everything, you're basically making the first trilogy again. Then when they make the Star Wars prequels, then people is very totally something different. People also criticize it, but but when you're criticizing the Star Wars prequels, okay, there's one good element is that maybe the intentions was there, but it's just that the direction and the acting and all that stuff wasn't up to par. I mean, there is a YouTube video out there that talks about how the Star Wars prequels are secretly brilliant. Then that actually the plot for it that actually talks about how the Jedi are actually supposed to be slightly corrupt. They're not actually the right thing, and yeah, it's kind. If you think about it, I think that was what Lucas' intention was in the original trilogy. So, or in the prequel trilogy. So but it just wasn't well written, or it just wasn't well written to actually flow into the story. So and going back to the subject about the related thing about potentially Rey and Luke may be related, or the fact that Kylo Ren and Han are already related, is that it's like every the way they put it in this way is that everybody in the galaxy seems to be related apparently, or they're inbred. It's like it's kind of true, but I just hope they don't do that. I mean, just make them their own character, don't have to make them related and everything. Then one aspect, actually I should have mentioned this in a non-spoiler, is that when the fact that this Finn was a stormtrooper, and he actually told lied to this who lied to Ray that you know he's from the rebellion. Then when the final truth is revealed that actually Finn was a former stormtrooper, he tells Ray, you know that you would think that they will have this whole subplot. Oh, you lied to me. I don't trust you again. That kind of thing. And then then it takes some time to forgive. You know what? I'm sick and tired of that. But thankfully, this movie doesn't do that. It straight away tells when the truth is revealed to when Finn reveals the truth to Rey. She's just like, okay, but we still need to get the thing done and get this thing done. She doesn't care, and you know what's more important? I'm glad that the story writing actually come to this. You know that they don't do that whole traditional route of you lied to me and the kind of thing. Because I honestly I'm kind of painful to see that thing all the way. Kind of already sick to death of seeing that thing, and I find it very painful to watch. And it's like it's been done to death, and it slows the movie down, and it's not focusing on what's more important, and it's adding unnecessary drama. But in this case, they do it, and that's a good thing. So let me think what else to spoil about this movie, and what about this movie that is. Well, I think I pretty much said what I need to say. So unless there's anything else I might want to add, I think that's about the spoiler section. So I still stand by it. Force Awakens is still quite a good movie. It's just that it is plot to plot really A New Hope. And okay, you know for spoiler's sake, right? The first part when they're already passing the plans for Luke Skywalker to BB-8, that segment is like, oh man, this is like the same thing, you know, from Leia when she put the plan into R2-D2. It's like, oh my god, the first scene is showing that. Is like you're already doing it again. It's like, if you are the kind of person who like expecting something different, when you see that scene, the very first scene will already turn you on. But if you're watching this video, you probably already seen it anyway. So yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, and the Death Star, like I said, they put it side by side in the control room. Oh, that is the original Death Star, and this is the Starkiller base. It's like 5 times bigger. It's like, it's like they're referring back to it again. Then the part where Leia and C-3PO, they were looking at that panel thing again, and it's like, it's again, the shot is so similar to the A New Hope. It's like, it may be a homage, but I would think they would try and do something different with it. Like even George Lucas, when he did the prequels, he also made the technology more advanced. But it's a bit controversial, but it's kind of interesting to see, you know, it's not so all retro all the time. And like Lucas is trying to do what exactly he wanted. Yeah. So yeah. So that's the thing. This movie is really the only complaint in this movie that is really significant is that this movie is really exactly almost 80% exactly like A New Hope, and it actually distracted to me a little bit more than what I expected. So yeah, so that's why I don't think this movie is gonna hold up to the test of time as, you know, one of the greatest Star Wars movie in the series, but it will be recognized as one of the very good ones. So okay, I think that's all the thoughts I have for spoilers. So please, if you want to spoil, please don't go to the. If you want to spoil the movie, go ahead and discuss it in this video, but please don't spoil it in the non-spoiler video. That's all I'm requesting for the YouTube comments. And alright, I'm done. So see you next time.